गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. You're doing Sadachar and you're on the 18th, 18th verse. So last week we saw, towards the conclusion of the 17th verse, Vedantai Shravanam Kuryat Mananam Chopapattibihi Yogenabhyasanam Nityam Tato Darshanam Atmanah. One should receive Upanishadic instructions from the Guru, then reflect upon it by the process of logic, and then practice meditation by proper method, not any way which you like, the way the teacher tells you. And when we do these practices sincerely, ultimately the realization will happen. Now the teacher continues explaining what all you have to do. Now in this next verse, in the 18th verse, he says, Shabda Shaktera Chintyatvat Shabda Shaktera Chintyatvat Shabda Deva Parokshadhihi Shabda Deva Parokshadhihi Sushupto Purusho Yadvata Sushupto Purusho Yadvata Shabdenaivanubudhyate Shabdenaivanubudhyate. The strength of the word is considerable as through the power of words a sleeping man wakes up, so too by the power of the words alone the direct immediate knowledge is gained. Here the Vedas say, in the beginning was the Word. Christianity says, in the beginning was the Word. The Word itself has then multiplied itself into the various forms of the creation. In our Sanskrit also it comes that way. The Om, which is the unstruck sound, it becomes the vowels, and then the consonants, and the combination of the vowels and consonants you get words, and through words you get sentences, through sentences you can explain, and all these alphabets, the 52 alphabets of the Sanskrit language are, in Gita we were doing that, the macrocosm at the macrocosmic level, at microcosmic level they are represented in your chakras. This is what they say. Now you go and look for it and tell me where they are. But that's an explanation, and there is valid. It's a complete science. If you go into Shri Vidya and the Kundalini, each chakra has certain number of petals. On each petal, the manifestation of a particular consonant is given, and in that way, in the 6 chakras, all the 52 alphabets are covered. So where that particular aspect of creation is expressing is represented microcosmically also. Again, the sound expresses at the unstruck sound is at the Paravani, then then comes the Madhyamavani, and the Madhyamavani, the sound is there, but you are not clear, it's indistinct. At the Pashyanti, then at the Madhyama, the sound is clear, but it has not grossified yet, and at the Vaikhari, it gets grossified. This is how the creation has come about. Para is the unstruck sound, and over the 3 stages it gets expressed. Now, as a result of that expression, we have, why has it expressed? out of ignorance. Now, what is our purpose as a seeker? We have to find our way back, and this is called in another practice. It is called the Nada Yoga. Nada Yoga. In that, from Vaikhari to Madhyama, from Madhyama to Pashyanti, from Pashyanti to the Para. This is the process. So, what is Vaikhari? The loud voice, the sounds that you make. What is Madhyama? Where the sounds are there but they are not expressed. What is Pashyanti? Where of its own you have got no control. The sounds are coming but you are not it's not in your control. That's what we call the ajapa jap sthiti. And when you become aware of that and become witness of that, so over a period of time you access the parasthiti, and at that parasthiti you go even beyond that subtle sound. And in this way it is seen that this creation is both is a manifestation of the word. Then it is also our experience that when we are sleeping at night, enjoying a beautiful dream, and from there someone gave me an example today itself. We'll come to the example later. That someone says, you're enjoying, and morning 6 o'clock the mom comes, hey, wake up, it's school time. And suddenly you are jolted out of your beautiful sleep or dream or deep sleep, and you come into the waking state, you become awake. If that is your experience, that to come from one state to the other state you need a sound. Someone was smart, they wanted to come to India with me. So when the husband was sleeping, at 4 o'clock in the morning, she woke him up and said, hey, I want to go to India. He didn't know what he was. Okay, go. And she got the permission. So if someone is dozing in the class, in the lecture, not necessarily a satsang, even in school we used to do that. And from there the teacher will say, you, and throw the chalk, and with that loud you it comes. Suddenly you wake. Was it me that she was talking about? Was she mentioning me? No, I am awake. I was not sleeping. So we're moving into the state of ignorance, or when you are in the state of ignorance, you are woken out. You are brought out of that state by a word. Similarly, on the path of spirituality also, we will do everything. We'll study, we'll educate ourselves, we'll study the scriptures, we go to satsangs. All that is just preparation. Ultimately, it's only the word of the teacher which can take you from this state of objectification of reality to the next state, which is not a state really, and deposit you there. And therefore, here it is says, Shabda Shaktera Chintyatvad, Shabda Deva Parokshadihi, Sushupto Purusho Yadvada, Shabde Naivanu Buddhyate. So this the example that is taken is given in our Upanishads is that of the 10th person. Once upon a time there were 10 people, all wanted to go on a pilgrimage, and they started, and after they crossed the river, they counted, we are 10 of us. When they crossed the river, they reached the other side, and they said, "Arey, you count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Arey, here also there are only 9.